Welcome back to RV Mobile Memoirs. I'm Lance.
Hey, I'm Zay. Thank you guys for joining us as we continue our trip from the East Coast to the West Coast. In this episode, we are going to talk about our journey from Little Rock, Arkansas to Amarillo, Texas, and from Amarillo
bigger in Texas.
And that's what they say.
Even the steaks.
Oh, no, not a piece of meat. Stop it, Lance. But Lance took me off, y'all. And then we're going to talk about our trip from Amarillo, Texas to Munds Park, Arizona. So I'm going to kick it over to Lance. He's going to give you kind of the driving, and then I will then jump back in and give you guys the cost. Hey, y'all. Guess what we're pulling up to? Yes, the border, the state line for the great state of Texas.
The Lone Star State.
Oh, the Lone Star State. Welcome to Texas.
Yeah. So on the drive, because obviously I'm the driver somehow, but we'll talk about that in another segment. But on the drive from Arkansas, we actually go through Oklahoma and then into Texas. And leaving Amarillo, when we go to Arizona, we of course go through New Mexico and then Arizona and I think maybe one or two more states that I may have missed. Coming out of Little Rock, it wasn't too windy. Didn't you start driving? I think.
Yeah, you know what? I did. I started driving coming out of Little Rock and going into Oklahoma. And y'all, I am not kidding you. It's like I was driving and the whole world stopped. And
this was around the Russellville, Clarksville, Arkansas area.
Yes. And then it was like, maybe it was early in the morning, right? It was probably.
Yeah, we left. It was becoming daylight.
Okay. So it was probably about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And out of nowhere, the sky opened up. Everything turned black. I thought it was a tornado coming or something. It was devastating. So I immediately pulled off, and I told Lance, I said, "Well, we'll just, we can just stay here until the rain goes away." And Lance is like, "No, just move out of my way. I'll drive." I said, "Sounds good to me." And I never got back behind the wheel since.
Yes, of course. So and it did start raining. It was raining quite hard, but I'm like, we have got to get to where we're going. I am ready to get on the move. It's Sunday. It was already a long drive, and we had to work on Monday. Yep. So anyway, Arkansas wasn't a bad outside of the rain. The incident that we had there, it did. It slacked up. We got into Oklahoma, this is where the experience, right? I mentioned that the drive is always an experience. You're battling the various elements. So wind was kind of the primary one that, from a driving perspective, that we had to, or that we were battling. But when you get into Oklahoma, even some parts of Texas and into Arizona, it becomes the wind and the roads. So we actually, and as we got closer to Amarillo, Texas, they have these stretch of roads, even leaving out of Amarillo and going into Arizona, they have these stretch of roads that have lateral winds and gusty winds, and they actually there's a sign. It tells you, hey,
which is nice, is very nice.
It helps prepare you, but also the navigation, the RV navigation system that we use, which is the Garmin. I'll let Zay tell you the model and the name. That one also will give you alerts to say, hey, lateral winds or gusty winds ahead. So at least, and they warn you for like sharp curves and different things of that sort. So that will at least give you the heads up of what's coming. One of our friends, the truck driver, I mentioned him before. One of the things he told us, he said, hey, like when I drive trucks, I have to drive 2 miles ahead. So with being prepared for the wind so you can brace yourself, but on the roads, to be able to see ahead and kind of recognize, and some of the states even had signs to warn you of rough roads. And when I tell you they are rough, and more.
They're terrible.
In the slower lane. It had gotten so bad, like some of the cabinets came open. like, and this really on the RV, you brace because you feel like shit in these roads. I'm gonna lose control of like the vehicle. So, and it's not something that you can quickly, like in a car, just swerve around like you can miss. Like you're in this big RV and you're towing a vehicle. So that is something to look out for. Arizona and in parts of New Mexico, you guys should do better with the roads. But overall, the drive wasn't bad. We made it into Amarillo. There was construction, and it's construction to where like you have no shoulder, and then on the other side you have a concrete barrier. So that's actually really scary for Zay to have to drive through. It
was extremely scary, y'all. I mean, I'm being so serious. Think about being in this, 39 feet long RV, the car that we're towing behind it, and and then I was on the right hand side where there was it was just like what do they call them?
The concrete barrier.
The concrete barrier.
Or the orange cones.
It was the concrete barrier. And it felt like we were so close to it, we were going to hit it. But I guess that was just my visual from it. It was stressful. I couldn't wait to get out from that part. It is terrible.
Stressful because it leaves, in an RV, it almost leaves you with no room for error. Right? Yeah. Like with like cars, if they're passing, like you have to really maintain the lane because it's not one of those that you have room to jerk back if you need to. So, but go ahead. I let you hop into Amarillo.
Yeah. So y'all, you know me, I'm always the money guy. So as you guys remember, we are gonna give you guys the cost of everything that we pay for. So talking about, we stood at 2 RV parks on this way. So we stood at the Big Texan RV Park in Amarillo, Texas. And we also stood at the Munds Park RV Resort in Munds Park, Arizona,
which is right outside of Flagstaff.
It's right outside of Flagstaff. So it was really nice. So we'll start with the Big Texan. So we stood at the Big Texan for 6 nights, y'all, and I always will keep my notes so I can make sure I give you exact.
You can't remember.
So between the Big Texan and the Munds Park, Munds Park RV Resort, for a total of 7 nights that we stood total, we ended up doing $355.85 for park costs. So I don't think that was bad at all. I mean, it was pretty reasonable for 7 days. From a gas perspective, we did $444.43. So that gives us a grand total for that 7-day trip. It was $800.28. Like always, y'all, if we have, any RVer, any current RVers out there, please message below. Let us know if we're on track with these prices. Again, this is totally new for us, so we don't know what should we be paying. Yes. Or, and then of course, for everyone that's looking to RV, hey, these are the costs, right? This is what you're looking at. There's one other cost I'll throw out there. Lance talked about the Garmin RV 1095 extra large GPS that was made for RVs. I will say it is I find it very valuable. Yes. It gives you a lot of information. It routes your trip exactly for your specific RV. You give it all of your RV dimensions and all of the information around it, and it ensures it takes you into roads that are going to be reasonable for your RV. And it automatically will update you for gusty winds, for road closures, because it's connected. So it gives live updates, lateral winds. It does everything. Now, I will say this was probably a lot more than we wanted to spend. We did go really on the high side for this. The cost for that is $899. I'll make sure and put the link of it below and where we got it from also. But just in case you guys are looking for a good GPS system, we enjoy it. I think it's worth the value for us in our mind. Again, current RVers, don't hesitate. Please comment below on what GPS system you're using. Would love to hear about it and all that great things.
One quick note, just really quick. One of the things that I also liked about it is you can put it in your settings or your favorites to tell it what you want to see. If those are restaurants, if they're like travel stops for you to get gas, you can actually put in there. So it is alerting you, like for Love's. Love's was one of the travel stops that we use consistently. And Zay will tell you a little bit about that probably on another segment with the rewards program and the amount that you get off. And they're pretty much located throughout the U.S. So they're a staple, but it will give you an update. Hey, this travel stop is in 30 miles. So at least you can get some type of heads up when you know that you're approaching the need for gas of where you actually want to stop, so that you don't get yourself in a situation where you're running low on gas and you're about to run out and you don't know when the next gas station is coming. And not every gas station can accommodate, or convenience store can accommodate an RV for gas.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all, just a quick update on the very first one. So for Amarillo, Texas, the Big Texan RV park there, very nice.
Yes.
Everyone was extremely friendly. The park is extremely clean. There's nothing negative about it. But what I did notice, Lance and I, of course, stood there for 6 nights. It is an RV park that it's a stop through. And now we know Amarillo is totally just a one-day event. You only need to be there one day, y'all.
We're not knocking you, Amarillo.
We're not. It's just a one-day event. Yeah. We did try the Big Texan RV Steakhouse and Brewery. It's like a must try in Amarillo. We didn't do the 72-ounce steak challenge. We said, no, we won't get into that. We tried it. We did it. Definitely, I think it's a place that you want to try once. Yes. I wouldn't say that it's a must to go back, right? It was. We did try some local restaurants there also during the week. Nothing to brag about. Nothing to brag about. So we have nothing really to give you there, y'all. Again, I no knock against Amarillo. It's just a one-day stop.
Just a one-day
stop there. Now we know there will be a one-day stop for us as time goes on. Anything?
No, like nothing major, just in terms of the hookup. I think Amarillo was one of the RV parks that required a regulator for the water. So generally that means, and I think I've mentioned regulator before, but they push out water at a very high PSI. So maybe like 80 90.
PSI.
And they'll kind of give you the number that they push it out. And most of the time, the piping within an RV can't handle that much pressure. So you get the regulator so that you can take it down. And I think we set ours on around between 40, 50 PSI. Yep. I think in talking to some of the individuals at some of the RV parks, they have mentioned that sometimes they may take theirs up to 60. But we got really good water pressure for
no complaints.
40, 50. So for me, and I guess for us, for first timers, we're going to err on the side of caution. Yes,
because we don't want to issue with the pipes or anything of that nature, y'all. You trust me. The only other thing I'll throw about Amarillo before we move on to Munds Park is we did try the must go to their big scenic stop is Cadillac Ranch. And so I would recommend Cadillac Ranch. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, we went and the day was very windy.
Yes.
So we didn't have the opportunity. But what Cadillac Ranch has, I think it's 4 or 5 Cadillacs that are standing up. They're very old Cadillacs. They're in the ground. And you can buy cans of spray paint there, and you can spray paint it, whatever you want to do. So, I mean, these Cadillacs, I think they're only standing up because they are embedded with all this spray paint. I mean, there's pounds and pounds of spray paint on these Cadillacs. So I think that would have been fun. We didn't get to we got to see it, but we didn't get to do it because of the wind. So I would recommend if you're stopping through, it's a must stop. Definitely do it. I think so. I'll let you kick over to Munds Park. Hey y'all, look where we are now. I'm trying to stay steady so you can see. We are in Arizona.
The Canyon State, the Grand Canyon State.
The Grand Canyon State. Y'all,
So, one of the cool things, I don't know why I'm fascinated with this, but I love to see windmills. So, when we were driving out of Amarillo to head into Arizona, they have a stretch of road that had, of course, wind energy. They have windmills. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You see a lot of them in areas of Bakersfield,
New Mexico.
too.
You see them in New Mexico, Arizona. hours. And then Arizona, yes.
So, but we're driving. Like, it wasn't a bad drive, but like you do have those areas where you're dealing with the winds and you're also dealing with steep grades, either going up or going down. If you're going up a grade, one thing that I learned, take it slow. The RV is heavy. If you're pulling a vehicle, that makes it heavier. So I think, but the good thing about the West Coast, I will say this, when they do get around into those grades, they have a slow lane specifically for like the trucks or RVs, because we were literally going 20, 30 miles an hour trying to make it up this hill. And of course, you don't want to push it because you don't want to overheat the engine, which probably could be easily done because it's towing a lot of weight. But the drive wasn't bad. Got to Munds RV Park, RV Resort Park. Driving into Arizona for me, and then I'll let Zay talk about the park, was kind of eye-opening on a drive because I'd never been in the Flagstaff area before, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful city.
Amazing city. I really, next time we would do the flip. We would do the 6 days in. We would do the 6 days in Munds Park and do the 1 day in Amarillo. Flagstaff is an amazing place, y'all. The elevation is crazy. It's like 7,000, the elevation. So, I mean, you are up there, but it is one of the most beautiful places we've seen this entire trip. So I can tell you from a scenic perspective, I think Flagstaff, Arizona is probably hands down what we've seen the best.
But also remember, from a scenic perspective, just the drive alone, going from Texas through New Mexico into Arizona was actually really nice, because even in New Mexico, you see a lot of like canyon-based areas is what it looks like. So it's this beautiful kind of desert brown color that you see, and just some of the things, and even some of the places that we saw places that had like old teepees still up, just a representation of the culture that comes from that area, like with the Native American. So Indians.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I definitely would recommend it. Munds Park RV Resort, very nice. We didn't get to really immerse ourselves into the total park because we were only there that day. But they have a ton of activities that are going on there.
It's a huge park.
Yeah, it's a huge park. They had food trucks on site. Yeah. They had, the people that were there were enjoying themselves. I definitely would recommend it. If you have the opportunity, go ahead and stop in Munds Park RV Resort. I'll put the links for both parks in the messages below and the comments below so that you guys can have them. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice.
Well, and keep in mind too, like if from an RV perspective, if you're really looking for that wilderness type camping, Munds RV Park will give you that. It's out. It's a large park. It's out, and it looks like they're adding to it, but there's nothing next door. It's all like kind of woods and grass, and like, and even on the drive in Arizona, it's elk. Yep. They started to warn you, hey, be on the lookout for elks as well. So I think we had left, and like it was in the wee hours of the morning. Of course, it's pitch black dark. The one thing I will say is there's not a lot of lighting out there. You have your light on your RV that you can turn on, but as far as just general common lights in the RV park, there's not a lot of them. So it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was taking the trash out before we got on, before we left Flagstaff, and I had to use the flashlight on my phone to actually see my way to the trash can.
Yeah.
So,
but it was nice.
Or to the dump site, not trash can.
But y'all, we just want to let you guys know we had a great time on this leg of the trip. Please, y'all, if you guys are enjoying our content, please click the like button. Please click the subscribe button. Please, comments. We are looking for your guys' input. Yes. We are looking for your questions. We are looking for all of that great stuff. Yep. Lance will tell you about our next leg coming up and our next video that's coming up. So thanks, y'all. Yes.
And again, I echo that. Thank you for watching. Please continue to like, subscribe, share if you're new. The next leg will actually be leaving Flagstaff, Arizona, and heading into Bakersfield. So I am looking forward to telling you about that journey. Because keep in mind, we said that Flagstaff is elevated. So the elevation is 7,000. Bakersfield is not. So you go up, you must come down.
Yep. And it's Bakersfield, California. Just in case anyone doesn't know where we were, I think Lance forgot that piece of it, but it's okay. I'll let him slide.
Well, we're not talking about it right now anyway.
I know, but at least give a setup. Gosh.
Thank you for your feedback. Everything is a partnership. I appreciate
Yes, it is. And so this is why I'm the co-pilot, y'all.
And on that note, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Absolutely. Always remember, y'all, home is where you park.